What's up, money lovers? Welcome back. So my medicine stock up 25% today. A welcome sight after the stock has just been tanking for months and months, and it actually just became a penny stock over the last few days. It went below $1. And as you can see, the past 6 months, this entire industry, even beyond psychedelic type stocks, biotech in general has really been getting hammered. My medicine down 60% the past 6 months. Compass Pathways, another big stock in the sector, also down 60% almost. But even when we look beyond the psychedelic sector, just biotech in general, down a lot. Not a good time to be a biotech stock. We'll get to what happened here. And hopefully these gains aren't erased over the next couple days, although it's a very good chance that they probably will be. The way the market's been moving, we'll see. Nobody knows. In the short term, I've been getting lots of comments on the channel telling me my mind medicine videos have not aged well, but I'm invested for the long term here. This is a speculative play for me. It's a very small position, and it's a binary outcome here. This is either going to work or it's not. There's no in between. So I'm looking at it that way, and I'm only investing money that I have to lose. So I don't care what happens to the stock price in the short term because I'm a long-term investor. I've got a 5 to 10 year time horizon on this one. So if we get to the news on what caused this stock to jump today, so the FDA cleared MindMed for their treatment of generalized anxiety disorder. This is great news because this had actually been held up by the FDA. There's a clinical hold previously that's now been lifted. So FDA clearance of our phase 2B clinical trial represents a major milestone for MindMed and for the industry as a whole, said the CEO, Robert Barrow. This trial, the first commercial study of LSD in more than 40 years, builds on productive discussions with FDA and provides an opportunity to explore improvements in anxiety symptoms following a single administration of MM120. And the key thing to note here is there's a potential for improvements in anxiety symptoms following a single administration. I mean, that's unheard of in the way we currently deal with anxiety, where it's more so taking a pill a day or going to see doctors and psychiatrists all the time. I mean, just think about how much this could revolutionize the field of medicine. Further, the results of this trial will guide the dose selection and development strategy for our pivotal phase 3 clinical trials, as well as deepen our scientific understandings of the clinical effects of MM120 and its underlying mechanisms of action. Barrow continued, with a clear regulatory path, we look forward to building on this momentum and advancing this trial as quickly and efficiently as possible, bringing us significantly closer to transforming the treatment landscape for patients who suffer from anxiety. Let's turn it over to the CEO himself to get a better idea of a timeline and what to expect from MindMed.
Landscape, and Doug, you talked about it as well. Where is it going to evolve over 5 years? Where do we see the psychedelic space going, over this 5-year period?
I'll start and just say I think that the options are many. It can go in a number of different directions, but I do think we have enough organizations who are serious about delivering on this opportunity that you're going to see a number of these molecules heading into phase 3 and in a 5-year time frame, heading very, very close, if not getting granted marketing authorization, at least in some jurisdictions. We're also going to see, I think we all are anticipating the first entrants, for instance, MAPS developing MDMA for post-traumatic stress disorder. They've already had a positive phase 3 readout. We know that they're active in a second phase 3 study. That's a near-term first entrant in the broader class of psychedelics. And so we'll see continued momentum. We'll see continued growth. We'll see continued advancement of these molecules. And I also think we'll see these second, third generation kind of uses and new molecules come forward.
So there you have it from the CEO himself. Hopefully within the next 5 years, we should get some of these trials entering into or completing phase 3 and maybe even going to market. So this is definitely a long-term play here. To keep you thinking long-term, a little article from CNBC. Kevin O'Leary said this is a brand new area of medicine with such incredible potential. He was an early investor in Mind Medicine, also invests in Compass Pathways. Potential of psychedelics far exceeds the potential of cannabis, O'Leary said. As an investor, it makes more sense to him to bet on psychedelics as opposed to cannabis, where research is increasingly showing medicinal efficacy. What interested me is the scale and size of the market, O'Leary said. These opportunities have been ignored ever since the 1960s. We're starting to see, wider and wider acceptance of this new market of psychedelic usage. There's so much anecdotal evidence. This is a brand new area of medicine with such incredible potential, O'Leary said, adding that the way investors should be looking at it is based on the fact that we have not had any new medicines for mental health approved in decades, which is pretty mind-blowing. So while there's been no new treatments, these are disorders that have just been skyrocketing. Having said there's a huge opportunity here, there's also a high degree of risk. These companies, as I said, are binary outcomes. They're either going to go to market, get $1 billion drug, or the company will be bankrupt. This is an exciting space. How often do you get to invest in something that's never been done before? These are pioneering companies in a brand new industry. There's definitely a huge market opportunity here. Estimates for psilocybin as a mainstream mental health treatment option, in particular for treatment-resistant depression, they estimate annual sales in the range of 1 to 5 billion, and a patient market in the US of between 2 and 4 million individuals. So there's a lot of potential here, and this is just something we're going to have to wait and see how it plays out over the next 5, maybe even 10 years. If you enjoyed the video today, please don't forget to like, subscribe, drop me a comment below if you have any questions. This is Vinny from the Investment Club, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.